Good afternoon to one and all present here. Education is a passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. To the honorable guest, Mr. Ganesh Patel sir, and all enthusiastic audience present here, I am Yesh Kondewar, your host for the afternoon. It gives me immense warmth and great pleasure to grace all your presence in the interest of training and placement cell for the guidance session with our respectable guest, Mr. Ganesh Patil sir. Training and Placement Cell is an official cell of our institute, Sri Guru Gobind Singh Ji Institute of Engineering and Technology, to enhance placement structure, and it assists all students in working at their dream company. I would like to talk about brief introduction of Mr. Ganesh Patil sir. Sir is an alumnus of our institute. He was the 10th merit list holder, attending 16th rank in Nashik Divisional Board. He completed BTech CSE from our institute, SGGS Nanded, with a 9.28 CGPA and was a SRTMU topper. Thereafter, he accomplished a AIR 554 in GATE CSE. He pursued a MS Research in Computer Science and Engineering from IIT Madras. He is a 5 times winner of Outstanding Teaching Assistant Award. Along with this, he was a part-time GATE tutor at a GATE Academy. He was a great corporate experience with top MNCs like Intel, VMware, and Amazon. Sir is presently working as a software developer at Amazon Bangalore. Now I would like to call upon Ganesh sir to guide us regarding how can we get into FANG companies.
Thank you, Yash, for the warm welcome. I'm quite excited to be talking to SGGS folks. It has been like now 13 years since I graduated. So let's see how we can make best out of this talk. So let me know the screens is complete properly visible and audio is clear. Then
Yes,
we'll
sir.
start. Okay, cool, fine.
Yes.
Okay, guys. So that's the agenda for today. Like we will talk about why product based companies first. That's the first question we should ask to ourselves, why we are striving to go into product based companies. So what are the skills set required in product based companies? What are the preparation strategies? What are the resources? So I'll be giving you all the resources, all the links from where I prepared and which will be beneficial for all of you. So you don't have to take screenshots or anything. All the resources, entire PPT I'll be sharing with you guys. So all the links you will get by default, and the corresponding video will be also uploaded on the YouTube, so you can just watch it anytime as well. So you just listen carefully. I think it will be 1 hour plus maybe, okay, because a lot of content is there. Then we'll talk about how we can get call from top product based companies. So GAFM is written like it stands for Google, Apple, Facebook, Amazon and Microsoft. Apart from it, there are many other product based companies also which are really good. So I'll be talking about them as well. So preparation strategy will be generic, and then we will divide the strategy into company specific preparation. And once you do this, how you can be ready to work at top product based companies. So all these things will be covering in today's webinar. So let me brief about my journey at SGGS. So I got admitted in 2005. I still remember my roll number. It was 2005 BCS 027. Okay, and then I graduated in 2009. So during our time, there was a craze for GATE Computer Science, and one of our super senior, Rakesh Pimplikar, he got All India rank 1 in GATE Computer Science. So we also thought we should prepare for GATE. We should go into IITs, NITs. So I went for coaching at ACE Hyderabad. That was like one of the best GATE academy. I did a crash course there, and after that I got a rank which was not good enough to get into MTech course. Okay, so there are multiple courses like MTech is there, RA is there. You might have heard that is in IIT Bombay. Then MS by research is there. So I got MS by research, and admissions will be conducted in 2 sessions. One session will be for July and another session will be there in December, January phase. So I got into the second session, uh, and there I pursued my MS by research from IIT Madras. I specialized into computer networks. That was one of my favorite subject during BTech. So I thought of I'll go deeper into that subject. So along with that, I completed a few research papers as well. And after graduating, I got campus placed at Intel. So during SGGS also I was placed in TCS, but I didn't accept the joining because I wanted to pursue my masters. So after my masters, I got into Intel. That was the product-based companies. And in 2013, I came to Bangalore. After that, I worked with VMware, then Amazon, and currently I'm working with Microsoft Bangalore. So that was about me. So first, let's see why we want to get into product-based companies. What are the differences between service-based companies and product-based companies? So service-based companies like TCS, Cognizant, Infosys, Accenture, all these companies, they offer services to the clients using some other products, and those products are actually developed by the product-based companies. For example, if you see SAP ABAP model, so many companies use that model, SAP ABAP model, and that model is developed by SAP company, SAP. So SAP is product-based companies, and the companies which use that model to provide the services, those are service-based companies. So TCS, Cognizant, mostly those companies which come to our campus are actually service-based companies. So there are actually few differences between service-based companies and product-based companies. So mostly in service-based companies, you will have to work in shifts. So you might be allocated night shift or second shift. Then work quality might not be that good. So there comes the benefits of working at product-based companies. So you get better work quality. Obviously, the model which you are developing will be used by multiple people, and you will be directly involved with the end user, end customers. In service-based companies, it doesn't happen. For example, if TCS has developed, let's say, IRCTC. So TCS had just taken a contract of developing the IRCTC website. It doesn't deal with the customers, but Indian Railways actually deal with the customers. Same happens with the product-based companies also. So, for example, at Microsoft, we have a product called Teams. Now, this Teams we directly sell to end users. So many institutes, classes, individual users are our customers. So obviously you can see you can impact a lot more people by working at product based companies. And product based companies offer good work life balance because the deadlines will be set by the company, not by the clients. In service based companies it is opposite. Deadline will be set by the clients, so clients might be demanding and you will have to meet their deadlines. So obviously work life balance might get screwed up, but in product based companies work life balance will be good. The amount of work will be actually less as compared to service based. In product based companies you get good facilities. I'll be showing the facilities as well, and obviously you get higher packages at uh, product based companies. So I remember in 2009 I got into TCS, so I was placed in TCS. That time TCS was offering 3.25 LPA, and this is in 2009. Now if you talk about today, it's 2022. So how much are they offering now? I guess it is almost same. I think it is 3.5 or something, right? So see, if you just take the inflation rate from 2009 to 2022, the salary should have been actually at least 6 to 7 lakhs, the starting salary, but still they are offering only 3.5. so it is actually very less. Okay, so that's why if you go to product based companies you get higher packages. So in 2013 when I graduated from IIT, my package was almost 3 to 4 times of that. So obviously the monetary part comes into picture here. Okay, so let me show you how Microsoft Bangalore looks like. What are the facilities which I talked about, right? This is the Bangalore main campus of Microsoft, very good campus, and you get lot of free food. So lunch, breakfast, dinner will be free. You can see here a lot of cold drinks, lot of snacks, those will be free. Then lot of sports facilities are there, just like in our SGGS, we had lawn tennis, then basketball court. All such facilities are also there in the company. Even music room is there. Cricket pitch is there, running track, football court, basketball court, volleyball court, all those things are there. So this is how product-based companies do offer very good facilities. You also have few celebrities who visit to your campus. So now Mr. Kapil Dev had visited in one of our events. So you get to see lot of celebrities also. So these were all motivating factors. So I hope you at least get some motivation why you should choose to go to product-based companies. Now there are actually two ways. Okay, so the strategies of preparation for product-based companies versus service-based companies, those are completely different. So for service-based companies, you will have to prepare like this. Okay, that's since we are not talking about service-based companies, I have just marked it in red. So you will have some aptitude test, like you will have to follow R.S. Agarwal book to get good at uh, quantitative problems. Then soft skills, sometimes group discussion might be there. You should have a very good communication skills, that plays a major role there. Then extracurricular activities also play a part. You will have to prepare one or two programming language along with one or two theoretical subjects. For example, while giving TCS interview, I told my favorite subjects were CN and OS. So they did ask few questions on that. And even theoretical concepts of the programming language, like if we say about OOPS, now OOPS, what are the OOPS concept, inheritance, polymorphism, all those things theoretically also you should know. So all those things are expected in the service-based companies. But in product-based companies, preparation strategy is completely different. The ask from them will be completely different. So now let's talk about what are the skills or the preparation which you need for product-based companies. So they focus only on data structures, algorithm, problem solving. Whatever problem you are solving, you should be thorough with the complexity analysis of those problems. And after some experience, you will be also asked some system design questions. That generally happens after 2 years of experience. So you don't have to worry right now about this since you are all freshers. But at least you should be very good at these four things: DS, algo, problem solving, and complexity analysis. So every interview will be of about 60 minutes. So maximum 60 minutes, and there you will be asked either one or two problems which will be solved using some data structures and some algorithms. So it will be one or two, maximum of two problems, and you will have to give the most optimal solution, and you should also tell the complexity analysis. That's the expectation in any product based companies, let it be Google, Amazon, Microsoft, Walmart, any product based companies. The pattern is almost the same. So there will be around 4 technical interviews plus one managerial round might be there. Manager might focus on your behavioral pattern and the uh, your compatibility, a better fitment into his team. So there won't be any HR round here. Okay, generally in TCS Cognizant there will be HR round, but so maximum of like 5 rounds will be there. 4 plus 1 managerial, no HR rounds. So how you can start preparation for uh, getting good at DS, algo, problem solving, and how you can excel in the interviews. Let's talk about it. So how you can build a strong foundation of data structure is using these two things. You have to build one data structure and you have to traverse that data structure. For example, if you know how to create the linked list, so you will create a linked list and your code should be able to just traverse this. Traversing means just reading the elements one by one. So if we do this, if you do this for all the data structures, your foundation will be pretty strong for DS. So which language you should choose to code? See, any language is okay. In top product based companies, they will never focus on any particular language. For them, any language is fine. So they assume that any engineer who can work in one language can easily learn another language in very less time. But I will suggest you should go for OOPS, any language which supports OOPS, which supports hash map, hash set. Reason being, if you use C, there is no hash map, hash set. So you will have to implement on your own and it will consume lot of time in your interview, correct? But if you use Python or Java, then hash map, hash set, those facilities are already there and you will save the time of implementing that. Many problems will be solved using hash map, hash set efficiently. So my suggestion, if you haven't decided any language, I will suggest you go for Java or Python, whatever you like. And this holds true for any stream graduate. You don't have to necessarily from computer science or IT. The product based companies are quite uh, accommodating. So one of my friend in Microsoft, he has done his BCom. He has done his BCom, then he did his MCA, and now he is at Microsoft. He has also worked at Adobe. So degree doesn't matter. Similarly, you are doing BTech in any stream, it doesn't matter. If you are thorough with data structure algorithm problem solving, you should be able to get the job. Okay. So now to build the strong foundation, I am providing you a list of 21 problems. If you do those problems, your foundation will be pretty strong and then you can go to the next level. So these are the 21 problems. Okay. So how do you solve these problems? Like first step is you should be able to write a hello world in any language. If you are if you can write a hello world in any programming language, then you are actually good to go. Any IDE you can use, any editor you can use. I'll suggest if you don't want to install any IDEs, then there are many online platforms, online judges, right? So there you can just select a language, let's say Java, and you can write a code and you can just execute there. That is the fastest way in which you can start your programming. So you should know functions, methods, how do you pass the values to functions, how do you return the values from functions, because in the interview you will be asked to write only the function which will solve that problem. You will be never asked to write right from main and then accept the inputs and then solve. No, you will have to write only the function, only the method which will solve that problem. For example, let's say get average of array elements. So you will have to write only the function which will do that task. So for that declaration you will have to write, the main code you will have to write, and the return value. So those three things interviewer will expect. So after that you can jump to basic array program and just try to reverse it, then write a program to sum all the array elements. Okay, this will be solved using the function or method. So you will be writing a method for that. Then similarly you can apply a binary search on the sorted array. Then you can solve one problem on the lead code just to get the hands on how do you solve using function, because there are many hidden test cases which you would have never thought of. All those test cases will be covered in the lead code problems. So that is one of the best platform. So once you are done, then you can move to string, then matrix, then linked list, binary trees, binary search trees, then write a basic graph problem, apply a topological sort on that, then move to tries. So try to write a program which will find a word in the dictionary, and hash map and hash set concepts. All these 21 problems if you do step by step. Obviously, if you are a beginner, it will take some time. If you have already done that, it won't take much time. Apart from, let's say, topological sort, dictionary, finding a word, these 3-4 problems might be tough, but rest others are quite easy if you are having computer science background. But if you don't have any background, then you should uh, try to build this foundation. So this will build your pretty solid foundation for anything. Generally, we don't know where to start our programming journey. So that's the right way in which you can start your programming journey, and you can solve this problem and build your base properly. So with this, this is one of my favorite thing. So let me show you, if you improve consistently what happens, and if you don't improve consistently what happens. So let's say your value is 1, and after a year, after 365 days, you don't improve anything. Okay, so your value after 1 year will be as it is. So you will be just 1. Now consider the opposite case, that you are degrading your performance every day by 1%. So 0.99 raised to 365. After a year, your value will be only 0. But now consider a positive case. If you improve your performance every day by 1% only, so it is like 1.01 raised to 365. So after 1 year, you will be 37 times better. Right, so same happens with programming also. Even if you feel that it's difficult, but just try to take mini steps, try to do every day, and after a year your performance will be like 37 times better. So that's the one of the best thing you can do to your career, and it applies everywhere. Even you start your career, you should keep improving. You should uh, keep adding skill set to your portfolio, so that your value will be higher. So now let's talk about few resources from where you will be studying all those problems. Okay, so nowadays YouTube Zindabad. Okay, YouTube has almost everything which you will need to excel in your interview preparations. So if you are a beginner, if you are just new to programming, or if you haven't solved any DS algo problems, I'll suggest these two channels. Okay, one is My Code School, and the other one is Vivekananda Algorithm Every Day. So these two channels, they explain the concepts very neatly, slowly, and you will be able to understand the concepts in the videos. So all those problems are already there on these two channels. So you can just go to these channels and start your preparation. So once the foundation is built, the next level is topic wise preparation. Okay, so there are like multiple topics in DS Algo, like array, searching, sorting, strings, linked list, BT, binary search tree, graphs, dynamic programming, tries. All these topics are there. So you need to take one topic and solve few questions. So will you solve like 100 questions on one topic and 0 from other? No, you should solve. You should give equal importance to all the topics. So take one by one and solve the most important problems. So now what are most important problems? So you don't have to worry about this. I have created all those problems for you. Okay, so I'll be giving you a list of 50 problems, okay, which are like must do problems. So if you do those problems from this list, any top product based companies, you will find almost similar questions in those interviews. For example, I just had given some Amazon interview. Uh, so all the problems were out of these 50 questions. And same holds true for other people also. Many people get the similar questions in their interviews. So I'll be sharing all those problems with you. The link is there. All those things are there in the video. I'll just talk about it. So once you have done this core thing, let's say you have done 50 problems which span across all the topics, then you can improve your horizon. So now you can go for this list which has 150 questions. That is neetcode.io. All the links are there in the next slide, and you will get the presentation, so you don't have to take the snapshot. You can just click on the link and you will get it. So you can go for these 150 problems. Okay, once it is done, you can go for the next sheet, which is the Strivers SD sheet. It has around 190 problems, and let's say even if you have done that, then you can go for the next sheet which has 450 problems, Love Bubber's DSA sheet. So if you solve all these, like, see, this is all superset. Okay, so when I have created this list of 50 problems, obviously those are there in the any other set as well. These are the most important. So if you don't have much time, then you should definitely do these problems, then you can add on, then you can solve these problems, then you can solve. So you will see problems are similar everywhere, so you can skip and do the unknown problems, right? So that's the best preparation strategy if you have less time, and this is specifically for top product based companies, okay, not for service based companies. So now this is the slide where all the links are there. So this is Love Bubber's DSA sheet is there. Then there is one very good link by Sean Prashad. Okay, it says lead code patterns. Now see, every problem, any problem you take, you can actually divide it into one category, and all the category problems will be solved using the same way. For example, if I ask you to find two numbers in the array which sum to x value, that's the problem. So now you can actually use brute force approach, but that will be obviously n squared approach, so nobody will like it. So you will have to do some optimization. So you can actually sort the array first. Sorry, you have to sort the array, and then you have to put two pointers, left pointer and right pointer, and you need to sum those left, a of L, a of right, and you should check whether that is summing to x value or not. If the sum is lesser, then you can increase the L pointer. If sum is higher, you can reduce the R pointer. That's the strategy to solve this problem. So once you know such patterns where you should sort the array and then solve, this is the two pointers concept, where you can use BFS, where you can use DFS, all those things you will get once you solve many problems. So that this is the best link to see if you can. So this actually divides all the problems into pattern formats. So all BFS problems are at one place, all DFS problems are at one place. So this is how you can simplify your pattern identification also. So that link also you can follow. Obviously problems are same everywhere, so you can just look at this website as well. This is the link for Strivers SD sheet, and this is for neat code. Okay, and so a few days back I had taken a course on Newton School. Okay, and I told them the 50 problems you should do, and all the people actually got problems around all those 50 questions. So that is the most important problems. If you have time, you should definitely go for higher set, which is like 450 problems. Gradually you can move. Okay, now those 50 question problems which I told, all those are already there in this video. So right now I'm not very active on my channel. This is the Learn from IITN that is on YouTube. If you go search, like you can just search like this, Learn from IITN Ganesh Patel, then you will get this channel, and particularly you go to this particular video. That is that is the webinar actually I had given in Pimpri Chinchwad College of Engineering, Pune. So they had Amazon coming up for their internship. So all those 50 problems I have mentioned here. So you can watch this video and get that list. This is that list I have also summarized here. I have taken the snapshot here. So see, all the array problems are here. All the string problems, like 5 problems are there. All the linked list problems. Then all the binary tree problems, binary search tree problems, graph traverser problems, then dynamic programming problems, stack and queue based problems, and some miscellaneous problems like LRU cache and few multi-threading problems. So once you do all these problems, you will be well prepared for the interviews. Okay, so any doubts still here? Are we asking any questions in between, or at the end we will take?
Sir, at the end, we will take this
Okay,
question.
fine, sure. Now you know the problems list, but where you solve these problems, where will you practice, right? So Leet Code is one of the best platform where you can practice, and you don't have to take membership. Its free version is also good enough. There is a paid version as well, which allows you to segregate the problem based on company title or some particular pattern, but free version is also good enough. So what you will have to do, you just Google the problem. For example, number of islands is the problem. So you will get the Leet Code link here, and every problem is having one unique ID. So you can see here this ID is unique. Okay, so if you can try to solve the problem, you can just read the description and try to solve the problem, but don't spend too much of time. I'll say spend 20 minutes on a problem. Let's say you are not able to get the solution, then you can go to YouTube and search that problem. So how will you search? Just put this number, because all these numbers are unique. So if you just put 200 Leet Code, you will get the solutions. And nowadays lot of good content is there on the YouTube. So any language you can prefer, like English, Hindi, any language, you will get a good explanation. So you can watch the video, come back, and now don't copy paste the code. Okay, just don't memorize and code. So you understand the problem and then write the solution on your own and then submit. See what are the uh, edge cases which you are missing, and try to avoid such mistakes in the future problems. So this is how you will be well prepared to solve the Leet Code problems. So all the problems which I mentioned, like 450 problems, right? Those all problems are there on Leet Code. Most of them are free. They don't require any premium subscription. In Leet Code, there is also this top 100 liked questions. Then top interview questions, both are CC. The lock symbol is not there. It means those are free. So you can also start solving one by one. Once your preparation, topic wise preparation is done, you can try to solve all those 100 problems, and those will give a very clear understanding of the problems. How it will be like a simulation in your interviews. And if you want to do a company specific preparation, let's say you have done a generic preparation, now you have got call from, let's say, Facebook. So from Facebook, then that time you can go for the premium subscription. So there you can find the top Facebook questions. You can just take the premium subscription and solve these Facebook questions. The other way, which is free, that is Geeks for Geeks. This is also very good platform to practice the programming problems. So on this link, if you go, these are the must do coding questions for companies like Amazon, Microsoft, Adobe, all the top product based companies, and they have segregated topic wise. And once you click on a problem, you will find a practice, see, this is a practice portal, and you can write your solution and test it. So that is another way in which you can prepare. So these are the two best resources, LeetCode and Geeks for Geeks. And when you start your company specific preparations, you will also have to read the previous experiences of that company. So if you go to Geeks for Geeks /tag, and if you just replace the company name here, you will get the interview experiences from that company. So see here, if I place any, for example, here it is Microsoft. So all the Microsoft experiences you will get. So just go through all the experiences, what type of questions are being asked, how many rounds are being conducted, all those things you will get to know. So you should definitely do company specific preparation once you get a call from a specific company. There is also very good resource on LeetCode. If you go to LeetCode discuss section, you can see here, see Google online assessment questions, most important question. People nowadays, there are a lot of platforms, right? So LeetCode, there are many enthusiastic people who keep posting their experiences, how, what were the questions they got. So you can get to know the type of questions from this section as well. So those are the two things where you can get to know what type of questions are asked. So now let's say you have done your preparation, you have got call also, and you are in actual interview. Now let's see how do you tackle the interview, how to answer in an interview. So tip number one is like only method or function you will have to write, not completely from the main. That is the first step. And let's say interviewer asks you this question: return the list of elements from the left view of a binary tree. One of the famous interview questions. So so by looking at it, since you have prepared a lot for DSL Go, you will see, okay, I know this problem and I can just solve. So don't straight away jump to this to writing the solution. That is the first thing you should do. You should ask clarifying questions. For example, any problem statement will be actually ambiguous. So this is not a concrete statement actually. For example, it asks you the list of elements. Does it say whether it is array list or linked list? No, that is an unknown. And so that is the unknown, right? So you should ask what kind of list it is. So shall I use array list or linked list? Okay, that was the first clarifying question, let's say. Then a next clarifying question could be, what sort of elements does that binary tree contain? So a binary tree generally has this data field, right? So data field or value field. So it could be either integer or float or character, right? Anything, it could be anything. Did interviewer say anything about this here? No, he just told left view of a binary tree. So you should ask what sort of element does the binary tree contain, and since most of us will be comfortable in writing working with integers, so you can just say, can I take them as integers? So this is how you can redirect your interviewer to the comfort zone in the comfort zone of yours. So this is how you should ask the question, can I use integers? So he will obviously say, okay, yes, you can use the integer. Now don't assume the things. As I said, ask the clarifying question, just don't assume the things. So even if you know the most optimal solution for that problem, you should begin with the brute force approach. Don't straight away jump to the most optimal solution. Just tell them the brute force approach first, and along with that you should also tell that what are the issues with this approach, what are the complexities. For example, here if I say I'll calculate the height of the tree first, and then I'll traverse height every level and then print the first node, it will be actually n squared complexity, right? So that's the problem with this brute force approach. So you should tell that this is the brute force approach, but there is a problem with the complexity part because it will be higher. So I do have a efficient solution. Then you should propose your solution. Once interviewer says okay, the solution is good and you can go ahead to write the code, that time only you should start writing the code. Okay, don't straight away start writing the code. Once interviewer gives you clarification, confirmation that yes, the approach looks good, you can start the coding. So obviously you should write only this part. See, this is the function, like left view of a binary tree. So you should know that it will be accepting the root of the binary tree node. Okay, then since you said you will be using the array lists and binary tree is going to contain the integers, so you will declare array list, then you will perform your logic of finding out the elements in the left view of the binary tree, and then you will return the nodes. So return type should also match properly. So this is how the entire thing you should write in the interview. And once your solution is done, just don't give away your paper and say okay, it's done. So even while writing the code, you should not keep mum. Whatever thought process you have, you should keep explaining. Many people do this mistake. They'll just take the paper and just write the code. Okay, that's not the way. You should keep explaining what is your thought process. For example, you are taking the bt node like this, then you are declaring the array, then I am going level by level. If that level is not visited, then I am doing this. So that way even interviewer will get to know that okay, you haven't just memorized the things. So after writing the code, before handing over to the interviewer, make sure your code is absolutely correct. Okay, so all these top product based companies focus on the accuracy. The code should be very accurate. They don't entertain the mistakes in the logic, or the even syntactical mistakes are not actually entertained at many places, right? So you should be like, make sure your code is very correct. All the boundary and edge cases are considered. For example, here if the root itself is null, okay, whatever root is passed here, this itself is null, then do you need to create this list and then return this that? No, right? You can just check if root is null, then return null. That should be your first case. This is how you will make sure that all the boundary edge cases you are considering. And then after writing the solution, dry run your algorithm. So take some sample tree, sample values, and try to execute your algorithm on this particular tree, and it should give you the left view of that binary tree. And after writing, you should also tell the time and space complexity. This is very important. Unless you tell time and space complexity, your interview is actually not complete. Okay, so make sure you tell that as well. Okay, now next important point. Okay, we have done we have talked about all the preparation strategies, how to answer in the interviews, but how will you get calls from such companies, such top product based companies? If you are from premium institute, like let's say IIT, NIT, triple IT, BITS, then it is much easier. Okay, I'm telling you, like if you have IITs on your resume, like people will blindly call you. That's the experience which I have. So if you are planning to do MTech, RA, or MS research, any sort of post graduation, that will be actually a pathway to product based companies. But nowadays actually that is not a very compulsion. Okay, earlier it was, but nowadays many companies are hiring from many colleges, not necessarily from top premium institutes only. So you can skip that also, but you should make sure that your resume, your profile is very good, So let's talk about how you can build your profile which will stand out from the crowd. So make sure you have internships in your resume. If you have done internship, then your chances of getting selected for the interview becomes like multifold. So make sure you do some internships. So I'll suggest you can go to internship, like let's say if second year people are there, then I will say after second year you should go to IITs for internship, and after third year you should go to corporate industry for internship. That's my personal suggestion. Okay. uh, it varies. Okay, even after first year you can go for internship in IITs. So let's talk about how you can get the internships. So for IITs, generally all the professors where internship positions are open, they will post the openings on their website. So this is the IITM website. If you go to people, the faculty, and if you just scroll through one by one, then you can see there are like, see, remote internship is there. See, I offer remote internship. So that professor is actually offering the internships. Similarly, many professors will be offering the internships. You just need to reach out. So you can just email to this professor, let's say. Now this is the old snapshot. It was like a year back, but you just get the concept, like how you can search for the internship positions. So this is how you can uh, approach to professors and get the internship. You can just tell in the email that you are actually interested in that particular area and you would like to do the internship. So most probably they will have some interview or some problem. Now for example, this professor actually had given one assignment. If you do that assignment, then he will select you for internship. It was like that. So different things will be there every time, so you just need to check out. And if there is some faculty who is attending this webinar, so I'll suggest that the floor should be open for internships in the final year, like for 6 year 1 year. And I'm not sure if it is there at SGGS now, but I think it should be open so that people can go for 6 months long-term internships and get a very good knowledge, might get the pre-placement offers as well. Okay, now continuing to getting the calls from there, you should get a very good GitHub profile. All the codes which you are doing, all the projects which you are doing, you should maintain a very good GitHub repository so that all the things are at one place, and it will create your GitHub profile a strong profile. Okay, there are other ways also if you are into competitive programming. Okay, like on CodeShape, HackerEarth, HackerRank. If you like doing competitive programming, then you can also showcase that into your resume, telling your rank, or let's say some contest you have won. All those things you can mention. And it's a different debate actually whether you should do a competitive programming or the interview preparation. Those are actually two different things. People who are good at competitive programming might not be good at the solving interview problems. Okay, the preparation strategy for interview preparation, interview problems is actually different. So don't get boggled by people who are doing competitive programming, so you should also jump. It's not like that. Okay, like talking about me, I never like solving any competitive programming problems. I have never done it. So that's not the compulsion. Okay, if other people are doing, then you should also do. Don't worry about it. You just focus on the proper interview preparation, building your good GitHub profile, good resume. That will actually help. Competitive programming is just a add-on. There are multiple events organized by the companies, like Google Code Jam is there, Hash Code, then ICPC is there, which is Intercollegiate Programming Contest. Uh, Many colleges from different parts of India come together and give this contest. So all those things, and obviously there will be levels. You should form a group. Your group should go pass all the levels. Then you will be going to finals. So all those things are there. If you are interested, you should definitely do that. But if you are not interested, if you don't know how to do that, then you can skip this. That's why I have written that in the red color. Okay. Then many companies are actually offering few programs. For example, Microsoft Engage program is there. Right now it is open to only premium institutes, but maybe it will be made generic soon. Likewise, many companies have their contests where, like recently Walmart had, then I think Amazon has WOW program, woman specific program. So all those programs, you should keep looking at their websites. If you have a good group, you will get that information from those groups. There are many YouTube channels which keep talking about such things. You should follow them and make a good use of them. So once you are well prepared, you will not be afraid to go to any interviews, let it be any company. So that's why your preparation should be pretty strong, your resume should be pretty strong, then you can participate in such programs. So if you are into first, second or third year, I'll say focus on preparation, and for final year people, they can look out for the programs which will help them to get the jobs. The next way to get the calls is the careers portal. So every company has a careers portal. On careers portal, they will keep publishing their requirements. So you can just go through the requirements which matches to your experience, and then you can apply there. Okay, that is also one good way. And now next is the best way to get the calls. This is the best way which will work if the other ways in the previous slides, like going through career portal, doesn't work, right? Because many people will be there which who will be applying to the open positions. So that's so you should start building your LinkedIn connections. Be active on LinkedIn and start adding the people from the companies where you are interested in. Let's say you are interested in Facebook, then start adding people from Facebook, seniors like software engineers, HR people, any anybody. And LinkedIn is actually professional platform. Many people will just increase their connections. Okay, so they will accept your connection request most of the times. So I'll suggest start this from today itself, so that you have a lot of people on your LinkedIn. The benefit I'll tell you, because see, whenever I have requirement, instead of reaching to some agency or something, people, the managers actually put their requirements on the LinkedIn, saying I do have such requirements. Please apply if you are interested in. Few people are there who are interested in the referral bonus as well. Okay, so if I refer, let's say from Microsoft, if I refer somebody and that particular person gets a job at Microsoft, provided nobody had referred him earlier, I will get the referral bonus. So that referral bonus will be very good, like from 35,000 to few places it will be 1 lakh as well. Okay, it depends on the company wise. So I'll say uh, build your like connections, lot of connections you should have in your LinkedIn, and then you should approach in a specific way to them, then only they might refer you. So this is the approach strategy which you should follow. You should go through the careers portal first, shortlist the job IDs where you are interested in. Okay, so since let's say you are a fresher and you are just asking somebody to refer for a senior engineer position, nobody will accept, right? So properly go through the careers portal, find out if it is matching to your requirements, then and build your proper resume. I'll talk about the resume building in next few slides. With this, you should approach like this is the template which I have written for you. Okay, so you can say, okay, thank you for, just don't reply saying, okay, please refer me in your company. No, nobody will do that, because who will take the pain of downloading your resume and then finding out the matching jobs for you and then applying, right? So you should do that prep work earlier. You should go through careers portal, find out job IDs, then you should apply like this, you should approach like this. that thank you for adding, then I am so and so graduated in this or graduating, and I came across few positions in your organization and I'm quite keen in applying them. You should talk about yourself that I am strong in DSL Go problem solving, and you should also mention your coding profiles, let's say GitHub profile or code shape or lit code profile, so that the person will come to know, okay, you are actually programming enthusiast. If he refers you, there is a high chance that he will get the referral bonus, right? And you should also make sure that you are sending the request only to one person at one time. Just don't flood the request to all people, because the person who applies first, the person who refers first will get the referral bonus. So you can just make sure that you can just tell that nobody has referred me in your organization within 6 months. So currently you are the only one to whom I am approaching, and you can just send your interested job IDs where you would like to apply for. So this is how you, and then obviously apply the resume. You should apply the resume. So most of the times people will reply and will refer you. So this is resume building. Okay, most of the times you will see a lot of mistakes on resumes which doesn't look good. So always share the resumes in the PDF format. Okay, never share the resume in the Word docx format. Reason being, see, docx, like the Word versions might be different at multiple places. Somebody might not be using Word also. So if they open your resume, it will look distorted. The aligning will not be proper, the font sizing will not be proper. So always make sure you just convert it to PDF format, give a proper name, your name underscore resume dot PDF. Okay, not like final version 1, final version 2, final version 3, not like that. Okay, proper name, if possible mobile number also you can put in the PDF name itself. Spelling and punctuation mistake should not be there. Okay, many times people do this, they write this and they will give a comma, the space before, and they will not leave space after. Same happens with the dot, and immediately next line will start. Okay, all these things you should be very careful. So always the format is, if there is comma or semicolon, it will be immediately after the text, and after that there will be a space, and then next line will start or next character will start, right? So same happens, line can end with dot immediately, not after the space. So this is very important, which you should be careful, and this applies to everywhere, right? Okay, if you are building, if you are writing your project report, final year project report, even there you should be careful about punctuation marks and all the grammatical mistakes, all those things, right? Make sure you have a one pager resume. Since you are a fresher, you don't need two pager resume, one pager is enough. So one pager resume, I'll be sharing a template in the next slide. You can follow that format where all the things will fit into one page itself. So don't make more than one pager resume. Mention the projects which you have done, mention the languages, technologies, the GitHub profile or the lit code profile, or any awards which you have won, all those things. Okay, just don't mention the hobbies, like achievements, like I won first in third, I won a running competition in third standard. That is irrelevant. Okay, so always mention the achievements which are most relevant to that job. Just don't put any achievements, like participated in Pragya is not achievement. Okay, so if you have won something, that is okay, but just participated, just attended, don't put such things. Make sure you present some papers, paper presentation. So like talking about my experience, I used to like this paper presentation competitions a lot. So I have present, when I was at SGGS, I presented a paper in PICT, impetus and concepts, PVG, code vita, uh, and two at SGGS. So all those things were in my resume, all those four paper presentations. Now whenever interviewer sees, okay, you have done paper presentations, then obviously half of the questions like will get, might get diverted to your uh, like paper presentations, or let's say somebody is publishing a papers in some triple IT or some conference, that also adds a lot of value. So that will be beneficial when you have your managerial round. Generally in the technical interview nobody will check, but when you have managerial round they might look at such things as well. So make sure you have those things in your resume. Okay, that's the sample resume. Here is the template. You can just open on the open this template and edit. That is very good template, one pager template. Okay. Now, if you talk about FANG companies, Amazon is considered as one of the mass recruiter in the FANG companies. So Amazon has few leadership principles which a candidate should know and should follow. Then only they will take the accept the candidate. Okay, so all those leadership principles I have talked in this video, the webinar which I talked about earlier, how to prepare for Amazon, which I delivered at PCCOEP college. So it has all the leadership principles and how to answer all those questions. So make sure you check out that video. If you are going for Amazon, it is must. You should know all those 14 Amazon principles. Okay, yeah, once you have some experience, like let's say 1 or 2 years, then system design questions will be also asked. So these are the two best system design resources. One YouTube channel is by Tech Dummies by Narendra L and by Gaurav Sen. So you will get a lot of fundamentals which are there for system designing. So even if you are not experienced, if you are fresher, if you have time, you should go uh, into details of few videos here, so that you will get to know how actual systems are built. Okay, now talking about books, if you like book mode, so I generally prefer YouTube over books. Okay, but if you like reading books, I'll recommend these books for your preparation. This is by Narasimha Karamunchi. So this guy was actually MTech student at IIT Bombay. That time he wrote this book and he has published multiple books. So make sure you are taking a book of taking a book which is like a language specific, because he has multiple books. If you are giving interview in Python, then make sure you are taking a Python book. This is for Java. Okay, there is also a very good book by Gally Lackman. So Gally Lackman was engineer in Google, and after that she wrote this book. So this is also very famous book, Cracking the Coding Interview. For system designing, there is a book by Alex Zhu. Okay, Alex Zhu. It's not costly, but very good for system designing interview preparation. Okay, and if you are in BTech, so you should be also ready to excel in your career when you get selected in such top product based companies, right? So you should be well prepared to know what is backend development, how is front end development is done, how full stack development works. So for that you can go through some courses, because since you are in college you will have a lot of time. So there is very good course by Dr. Angela Yu. It's complete web development bootcamp, and it talks about backend, front end, so basically full stack. Okay, and there is a channel by Learn Code with Durgesh, and he has one video of full backend development course in one video. It's kind of like 11 hours course. You can also go through this video, so that you will get to know how Spring Boot is actually done in the corporate industry, how it is used. So Spring Boot you should definitely study. That will be helpful when you go for jobs as well. Okay, and a few other things like, see, even though like Google, Facebook, like Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, these are good names. Not, these are not only the names which are top. Okay, there are many other companies, like let's say Walmart is there, Intuit is there, SAP is there. Okay, even these are very good product based companies. So you can widen your horizon. Just don't say, okay, I want to go into FANG. All other companies are also good, and in the starting phase of your career, I would suggest if you get into startups, that will be the best, because startups will offer much more agile work environment. Work will be more, pace will be more, so you will get to learn a lot of things. And when you are like 10-12 years of experience, then you can come to a company which is like for retirement you can come. Okay, that strategy can also be followed. And obviously multiple attempts you will have to do. It's not like in 1 or 2 attempts you will get through good companies. Personally speaking, when like from IIT to Intel, it was quite easy. uh, that was like just 2 rounds of interviews. But from Intel, when I wanted to switch, so that time I gave around like 20 companies interviews. So many interviews I gave, and after that I got offers from VMware and Nvidia. So it happens, it luck part also, plus you will get to learn a lot of things in the process when you go for the interviews. Okay, so whatever we talked about today, it is already there on the channel, though I am not active on this channel now, but you should go and check out the engineering playlist. There is a webinar which I gave, there is a seminar which I gave in RCPIT, which is RC Patel College of Engineering. It was a seminar, not webinar. So if you are into engineering first year, second year, third year, you should definitely watch that video. There I have talked about how you can make most out of your engineering, and that will be very valuable if you are into like before third year, up to third year. So make sure you watch that video. All those videos links I'll be giving this PPT also. You can check out the videos. Okay, and if you want to connect with me, you can connect on this ID. This is my LinkedIn ID. Okay, so fine, thank you. That's all from my side. We can take questions if you have any.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah.